Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, so in the last video we did nested if statements, and that's one way to do that, and it does come in handy, and it's something very useful. However, there is another way to do it, and sometimes this is the preferred way. I know I often do this, and it's called a complex condition. Okay, so what is a complex condition? Well, it's a way that we can wipe out this nested if statement and put it all in one line. So when you're programming, you're going to have something called and you're also going to have something called or. So let's explain and or. So first of all, if I want to check if the last name is Hancock and the first name is Herbie, I could put two ampersands and I could put first name equals Herbie. Then I can put document.write. This is Herbie. Okay, save it, hit refresh, and it says this is Herbie. Okay, so let's look what happened here. So basically, with the nested if statement, we were testing if last name was Hancock and then if the first name was Herbie. What we did here was we got rid of the nested if statement and we put it inside the original first statement, or I'm sorry, the original if statement, the first one here. So what we did was we put and, or the two ampersands next to each other, and that means and. So basically what we said, if last name equals Hancock and first name equals Herbie, and you'll notice that the syntax, the formatting is all the same. It's just you put the two and ampersands between the two statements there. Then we check, or then if that's true, then we write to the document that this is Herbie. Now, there's another one called or. How do we do or? Well, I don't know where it's at on your keyboard. I know it's on the backspace for mine, but there's something that looks like it's basically just a up and down line, and it looks like that. And those would be or. That means or when you do two of those lines. So let's run it and see what happens. The same thing, because we're basically saying to it, if the last name equals Hancock or the first name equals Herbie, then do that. So if I take this away and I spell and I put, I don't know, let's put Robert, it's still going to work. However, if I go back here and I put the two ands, then it's not going to work because not both conditions were met. If I go back to or and I put an S here, it's still not going to work because now neither of the conditions are met. So basically with or, only one of the conditions has to be met. It has to be the first one or the second one. With and, both of the conditions have to be met in order for this to work. And there you go. Okay, so that's what complex conditions are, and this is really, to me, a bit of a better way to do the nested if statements instead of actually doing the nested if statement. Now, they do have their place, don't get me wrong, but oftentimes when I'm programming something professionally, this is what I'll use if I need to check if it's, two things, either both combined or one or the other. And again, I go back to the example. Let's say you built, something, a web-based software that is checking names, and there's a specific name you're looking for. Well, the last name and the first name would have to match. Or if you have it set up where you're looking for people that just have, one last name or one first name, it doesn't have to be that the two match, then you could use the or operator. So that's complex conditions, and that's something you're going to want to kind of mess with here and play around with, and come up with some examples on your own. Maybe try using them in a function, maybe giving some parameters in the function that'll fill in some of these things. So, all right, challenge yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.